Hello and welcome to Experiencing Love. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm feeling a lot better, all things considered. I got up today, I had my morning cup of tea, and that's enough to be grateful for. That's enough to be happy. That's enough to realize that I have another chance to create today. And I've been having this idea recently, and it might sound crazy, and I have no clue if anybody's ever done it before. But maybe I'm not just crazy, I'm just first. So the idea was to follow this theme that I have of creating this podcast every single day. And instead of either just creating this podcast or in general creating this podcast every day next year, I instead choose another creative venture, another direction to take my creativity in and do that every day for all of next year. Specifically, it was with the idea of wanting to create some music. I've always enjoyed music, and although I may not be the most musically practiced, we could say, I don't think it's as far outside of my realm of possibility as I once thought. I've had ideas for a while now of wanting to create and produce songs, even though I have no knowledge how, or should I say I have no experience how, with only this little thing called the internet at my disposal. I really believe that I can do it. And it's something that I'm going to be thinking about for a little while longer because I get to decide how I do this. I get to decide if and when and how I'll start and what my goal is. What do I count as showing up for a day? Because then I thought about this. What would it actually be like if I showed up and I not just created a song, but then released it out into the world? And I did that every single day for a whole year. And the goal of this is not to create amazing music, but just to create music. Because ultimately, this is what will happen. There will be many, many releases that will suck. They will be god awful. And then I'll learn a thing or two. Maybe I just make it my goal to improve one little thing every single day. Maybe I change something as crazy as the entire genre or style to something as simple as making one instrument just a little bit louder. In truth, I actually don't know what would be a big change and a small change when it comes to something like this, so I'm a bit out of my depth already. But if I do one small improvement every single day for a year, how different do you think my first week of songs will be versus my last week of songs? They may not be the most magical things in the world, but they will be better. There will be a difference. It'll also be another example, another thing to list on my portfolio, on my personal resume of this is what I've done in my life. This is what I've created. Because I've thought about this podcast in many ways before and how I don't plan to do this every single day forever. I know that. I know eventually I will grow and evolve and this will become what it's meant to become. Right now, I chose to record every single day this year so that I'm giving myself 365 chances to learn and make improvements before I evolve, before I move on to the next phase. I get to be creative now. I get to try things out now. I'm not waiting until tomorrow. I'm not waiting until next week, next month, or I'm not waiting until the beginning of next year. When it comes to this podcast, I'm starting now. When it comes to making music, well, I can also start that right now. Maybe I won't be immediately at the point of knowing even how to produce a song from start to finish, but I can start learning that today. I can start watching the videos, reading the articles or the books, doing whatever I have to do, playing around to find out what does it take? How do you do it? I wish I could remember the name, but I recently saw a video of this brilliant young boy producing music like it's nothing. And I do acknowledge there's a lot of talent. He just knows exactly what to do, which buttons to press, which dials or knobs to turn. And next thing you know, there's music coming out on the other side. And it's taught me a few things. For starters, music is beautiful. It's also not impossible. It's not something designated to a select few people in this world. Music is free for everyone. You can go out right now and take some chopsticks and start banging them against a wall, against a sidewalk, against an empty can. You can start making music right now. You could strum a rubber band. You could hum. You can whistle. You could clap. You could sing. There's nothing stopping you from creating music. In all honesty, there's probably not a lot stopping you from creating anything you want to create. The biggest culprit would probably be you. You're the one stopping yourself. Because if you wanted to go out and draw something, you would find something to draw somewhere with whatever tools you have at your disposal. That could be a pencil, a pen, marker. You may draw with your finger in the mud. Maybe you want to do the same thing with painting or sculpting. Maybe you want to create videos online, or you want to write a book or articles. There's so many ways to be creative and to show it with the world. I don't know what I'll end up doing a year from now. I could change my mind altogether by then, and I could still be recording this podcast every single day because it's just a part of my life. I do know that at the very least, I have a huge focus on creativity and creation. I want to create in this world, not destroy. I don't want to tear others down. I don't want to make others feel bad. I want to add to this world. Maybe at first it seems like noise, because a lot of people want to create for many different reasons. And to all people who are out there creating right now, I wish you the best of luck. I wish you the best success. And most importantly, I hope it helps you find what you're looking for on this journey. I hope you get what you're looking for. Maybe it's love, maybe it's respect, maybe it's money. Whatever it is, just do it. Do it for yourself. I could promise you this. On your darkest days, when it all feels too dull, too bleak, when there's clouds in the sky and you haven't seen the sun in 2 or 3 days, your creations will guide you through. Believe in wanting to create for the world. But most importantly, believe in creating for yourself. Make sure you know why you're creating. And on the topic of creation, I've blabbed on and on exactly how I was supposed to. I have here my favorite pair of chopsticks. They are unopened, and my favorite set of drumsticks almost, which makes one sound like a little click. And I beat the drum either on my finger, on my desk, and I just listen. Today this calmed me down. Today this brought me back to our universe. I was living in my head for a little while, overthinking, overguessing, overworrying. I wasn't even living here. I was living in fantasies that I was creating. I was living in stories I was making up and emotions that didn't come from reality but felt all too real. That's the beauty of creation and creating. It could come from anywhere, and it can go anywhere. I'd say the same thing goes for whatever the next big thing is. It could come from anywhere and it could go anywhere. You don't know if you can be the next big thing. You don't know if you are or are not the next big influencer, the next big creator, the next person that's supposed to create a massive impact on someone's life. Simply being there for someone else, doing what you do best, is exactly what the world needs right now. There's someone out there feeling bad right now. There's someone out there hurting. Maybe they're alone in their rooms or putting on a brave face and going out into the world. But deep down, both are hurting. I'm here to tell you that the only cure may just be something that you can give to them. It could be a little bit of time. It could be a little bit of energy. It could be a smile, a compliment. Honestly, it could even be silence. There's many ways to give in this world. And I don't know what that way is for you. I wish I did. Because if I did, I would tell you. I would tell you exactly what to do step by step, down to the every second, so that you and I can have the most impact on the world. But I don't. I don't know. But you do. You know what you're best at. You're best at that for a reason. I know one of the things that I'm best at is talking. It may not always be clearly, it may not always be concisely, but I am a pretty good talker. So I keep finding new ways to talk. I keep finding new ways to make money while I talk. I keep finding new ways to find joy and other emotions when I talk, because I know that's one of the things I'm best at. I use talking to connect with other people. I use talking to share a story. I use talking to apologize and be a bigger person. I use talking to learn and grow. And most important, I can use talking to love. I can share how I feel. I can show my appreciation, even if at the end of the day, I value actions more than words. Start your day tomorrow with a little bit of love. Tomorrow's love is for the world, but today, love yourself. My prayers go out to you, and it goes out to anybody in your life that needs some loving right now. I have a lot of love to spare, so don't be shy. Think about everybody you know that needs some love right now. Know that my love is getting to them. Know that my love is getting to you. And tomorrow, be ready to share some love with someone else. They need it. I promise. So take a moment to give yourself a high five, give yourself a hug, Just appreciate yourself. Tell yourself how much you care, how much you appreciate every single part of you, from your beating heart to your inflating lungs. I hope you have a full rest of your day. Not full with time, but full with energy, full with passion, full with love. Remember to always fill up with the love. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.